readers, and welcome back to the List for Queers, the corner of the internet where we talk about queer books. Today I'm going to talk about the queer books that are most popular on TikTok and tell you honestly what I think about them, so you get my perspective as well on whether they're worth your time or not. Please bear in mind that this is just my opinion, it's not meant to offend anybody, but yeah, so let's get into it. I'm going off Book Riot's actual list. Book Riot is a great resource for any type of lists, but yeah, this is what I'm using. And they put together the most talked about queer BookTok books. There's a list of like 9 different places, but I'm starting from 5th place. So we have 4 books here as a tie. The first time is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. This is a young adult novel following 2 teenagers in a world where everybody gets to learn when exactly they're going to die. And on this specific day, 2 boys are both called up and they decide to spend the last day together before their demise, their end. So I've read pretty much every single Adam Silvera book, and I did enjoy this one, but it is not as heartbreaking as some of his other books. For example, History is All You Left Me. I remember just bawling my eyes out at that one. So if you want a good cry, you can pick that one up and thank me or curse me, whatever you want to do, because of that. They Both Die at the End is definitely deeply emotional. It's thought-provoking and compelling. And this book, just like Adam Silvera's More Happy Than Not, raised a lot of questions for me. Like, if the death cast really existed, what would I do with my life? Would I live every day as if it were the last? Or would I be a Mateo, which is one of the main characters in They Both Die at the End? And he's kind of always too scared of dying to fully live. So would I, how would our society be if there was somebody that tells you exactly when you're going to die? So it raises some interesting questions, that's for sure. I would definitely recommend picking this one up. It is a young adult, so don't expect an adult book with adult type of writing in it. It is geared towards young adults and teenagers, so bear that in mind. There's a few others in this list that are young adults, so of course adults are more than happy to pick this books up. I do so myself when I want something a little bit more lighthearted, but do bear in mind that it is different and you as an adult might not be the target audience for this. In this 5th place, we also have the young adult novel Felix Ever After by Casey Calendar. This is an absolute yes for me. I'm telling you from the get-go. It is one of the first novels I read about a trans guy, and it definitely did not disappoint me. Despite still having some trauma and hurdles in it, it is a happy novel that has a trans person as a protagonist. So if you're looking to read something that does have a sort of, build up and some hurdles, but has a happy ending, please pick this one up. It was so refreshing seeing wholehearted support for Felix from his best friend, especially as a person of color. But the story still kept it very real. I've had the same feelings as Felix about love and relationships throughout my adulthood, and they still haven't stopped about, being deserving of love and how to really translate your personality in the relationships that you want to forge. But overall, I think this book has so many aspects that people can really see themselves in, even though they might not be trans people or queer people or Black people. I think this is absolutely a lovely book. It is a tribute to the queer community and the resilience of trans people, but it does have also overarching themes that every teenager, every young adult has explored, and the questions that we ask ourselves about love, about whether we are deserving of it, and how we can improve ourselves in order for other people to see the best versions of ourselves. So this is an absolute definite yes. Moving on, otherwise we will never reach the end of this video, there is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I don't really think anybody needs to hear my opinion on this, so you could just go ahead and pick it up. It will destroy your heart, and so you can thank me afterwards and anyone who has ever recommended it online and offline. Madeline Miller is an absolute star. She is a master of storytelling, and I would also recommend you go and read her novel Circe, which isn't queer but is just as amazing, if not more amazing in my opinion, than The Song of Achilles. The Song of Achilles, it's perfect if you're interested in Greek mythology and retellings. This one is focused on Patroclus and Achilles during the War of Troy. So absolutely, go ahead, pick it up, and get your heart destroyed. Then moving on again, we have One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I love Casey. They're one of my favorite authors and an autobi. They're such a fun writer. And One Last Stop is their second book. It's a romance between August, a 20-something-year-old who just moved to New York, and Jane, who is dazzling and mysterious and also displaced in time from the 1970s. How on earth can they make it work, do you ask? Well, you just have to pick this one up. I gave this a 4-star out of 5 because personally I was drawn more towards the side characters, shout out to them, than the main romantic plot. But I still enjoyed it a lot, and Casey writes in such a fun and compelling way in anything that they write. Even their third novel, I know people had a lot more mixed reviews about the pairing, but I really enjoyed it, even though there's another favorite here, and it's gonna be named. You know that's coming up. But moving up to 4th place, TikTok chose Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire-Sainz. This is the story of 2 boys growing up in the 1980s in Texas and falling in love slowly, very slowly, and within a community that is not too happy about seeing 2 brown boys love each other. Also, again, it's the 1980s and it's Texas. We all know what was happening in the 1980s. This book is, first of all, it's a young adult, and it is a slow burn, focused on their friendship as much as them falling in love. It is, again, a young adult novel, but it does feel a lot more adulty in the way it's written. So I highly recommend this if you're looking for something that's a little bit slower. Books like Felix Ever After, for example, are very quick paced, and you can finish them easily in a day if you want to, whereas Aristotle and Dante are very much slower. Also, it is painful for me to pronounce Dante as Dante and not Dante. That's very English, but Dante is a Latin word, right? It's Italian, it's Dante. But anyway, I highly recommend this. There is also a sequel that came out just a couple of years ago, and I have not read that one. And after you read this book, you can actually also go and watch the movie, because there was a movie produced, again, I want to say a couple of years ago. And it does quite have the same feeling and the same vibe as the book. So in my opinion, this is a kind of like modern classic for queer literature or like queer books. This was published years and years ago because I first read it when I was in high school, or maybe like early high school. So I was like 15 and I'm 27 now. So it's been out for a while, and it doesn't surprise me that TikTok kind of revamped it and is seeing it as like a staple of queer books to recommend. Going into 3rd place, it is a book I will never not recommend, which is Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. This is a novel that's perfect for autumn, since it follows Yadriel, who is a trans boy out to prove to his family that he too can be a brujo, so a witch, One night, him and his favorite cousin and best friend perform the ritual for him to actually prove that he's a brujo together. But they do get the wrong spirit. And this spirit just so happens to be a handsome boy who goes to Yadriel's school. He's the bad boy of the school and he's not very keen on passing quietly to the other side. This is a very fun read, a lovely read. I've recommended it so many times, literally every year as soon as the first leaf falls. And it has never disappointed anybody. It has a little magic, it has a little romance, it's very funny, it has everything really. So highly recommend this. This is definitely worth your time, and as we're getting into autumn, this will be perfect. In second place, we have The Crier's War by Nina Varela, a book that is not really my genre, so I could actually not bring myself to finish it. I'm so sorry for anybody who out there might love this book. This is a sci-fi novel set in a world where a robot species has bent the human race to the will. And two girls from opposite sides of the war fall in love with each other. So yeah, this is kind of like an enemies to lover thing. This is, again, still a young adult. I would recommend it if you like rich fantasy worlds with a lot of intrigues and you want that to be a little bit easier on your brain because it is a young adult novel. So I would definitely recommend that if you want it. It is not my thing though. In first place, it's actually the only book I have in physical form because it's one of my absolute favorite books. And this is Red, White and Royal Blue by, again, Casey McQuiston. This I remember so clearly when it came out because I was in France, I was an au pair, and I got it shipped to this town, little town in the north of France, and I reread it in a day every year. This is my comfort book. It's filled with great characters, and yeah, it also has a film, which I really liked, but not as much as the book. So this is Red, White and Royal Blue. This follows the son of the first female president of the US as he connects more and more with the Prince of England, Henry. And the two end up falling in love, causing all sorts of funny scenes, all sorts of shenanigans, and yeah, this is the top recommended book on TikTok. I understand why. Because while it is an adult novel, it has some spice in it if you're interested in that kind of thing. But as I said, it's so funny. I think one of the funniest scenes ever written probably has to be the turkey scene in here. Literally, when I'm sad about life, I just go pick up this book and, leaf through it until I get to the turkey scene because it's just hilarious. It's not as funny in the film though. But absolutely, this is a very, very immersive read. You're just gonna love it. And yeah, I don't really know anybody who hasn't liked it. Obviously, there's gonna be people that don't like it, but I definitely recommend this, and I agree with TikTok on this one. So yeah, there you have the list that Book Riot came up with thanks to the help of TikTok users. I'm not on TikTok, but I really wanted to just give you an idea of what, as a person who has been reading queer books for over 10 years now, I just wanted to see what was really popular on general BookTok and not just the queer BookTok community that might be recommended other books. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm coming to you soon with the news from August 2025, and I still have to compile that, so fingers crossed there's a few more positive news that we've gotten in the last 6 months or so since I started doing this format. But let me know in the comments if you've liked this video and what books you haven't read of this list, or what you think should have been higher on the list or present in the list. But until next time, I hope you're staying safe, I hope you have fun, and go read. Bye bye!